Sentence structures.
Sentence structures for the verb to be in past tense. In the simple past tense, sentences that use the verb to be as the main verb are useful to express what and how we were, where we were, and how we felt and behaved in a time before the present. Let's see the sentences or grammatical structures used to express this information. The first structure is the affirmative sentence. Here, you are going to put the subject first. It can be a personal pronoun or a proper name. After that, you are going to add the verb to be depending on the subject. For example, if you are going to talk about singular persons like I, he, she, it, you are going to use was. But if you're going to talk about a plural person like we, you, they, you are going to use were. Be careful with the singular second person you. It doesn't matter that it's singular, you are going to use were. And after the verb to be, you are going to put the complement or the rest of the information in the sentence. For example, you can use an adjective that talks about how you felt in the past. For example, I was happy. Yo era feliz. Or you can use a noun that signifies a place to talk about the previous location that someone had. You were at school. Tú estabas en la escuela. Or you can use a noun to talk about the previous occupation or profession that someone had. For example, she was a waitress. Ella era una mesera. Or you can use an adjective to talk about the appearance that someone had in the past, or a physical attribute. For example, you were skinny. Ustedes eran delgados. The second structure is the negative sentence. Here, you are going to use the negative particle not, and you are going to put it right next to the verb to be. It's the same structure as the affirmative sentence. The only thing is that you are going to put the negative particle not right next to the verb to be. You can also use a contraction. If you don't use the contraction, you are going to pronounce it, for example, was not. And with the contraction, wasn't. With where, you're going to pronounce it were not. And if you use the contraction, it will be weren't. For example, I wasn't sad. Yo no estaba triste. He wasn't hungry. Él no estaba hambriento. She wasn't an actress. Ella no era una actriz. And with weren't, you can say, we weren't in the park. Nosotros no estábamos en el parque. Or you can say, we were not. Like here, we were not in the park. Nosotros no estábamos en el parque. It means the same thing. Weren't is the same as were not. Then you have the interrogative structures. But here we have two types of questions. We have closed questions or yes or no questions, and we have information questions or open questions. We are going to start with the yes or no questions. Here, you are going to put first the verb to be. It's not like in the affirmative sentence that you have the subject first and then the verb to be. Here, you're going to put it backwards. You're going to put it first the verb to be and then the subject. It's very different from Spanish because in Spanish we have the same structure. The only thing that changes is how you say it. the tone of your voice. For example, an affirmative sentence in Spanish, ella era inteligente. You are affirming that. You are saying that that is true. But then, if you want to ask about that, ella era inteligente, it's the same order for the words. The only thing that changes is your tone. Ella era inteligente, ella era inteligente, but in English, the order of the words actually change. For example, an affirmative sentence, she was intelligent. But the question, was she intelligent? Another example, they were students. That's the affirmation, ellos eran estudiantes. But if you want to ask about that, you are going to ask, were they students? Ellos eran estudiantes? You have a short answer or two short answers for this. Yes, they were, that in Spanish means ye sí, or no, they weren't, that in Spanish means no. This is the short answer, or you can give the long answer. Yes, they were students, or no, they weren't students. Or if you don't use the contractions, no, they were not students. For the information questions, it's exactly the same structures as yes or no questions, but you're going to put at the beginning of the sentence or at the beginning of the question a WH word. The difference between a yes or no question and an information question is that a yes or no question, like its name says, is asking for you to confirm or deny something. You only have these two options to answer, yes or no. But an information question is asking for information, for a fact, or some data. In this case, you are going to put the exact same structure as a yes or no question, but you're going to add the WH word that you need for you to ask that piece of information. It can be where if you are asking about a place. It can be why if you're asking about a reason. It could be when if you're asking about a time. So you can say, where was she yesterday? ¿Dónde estaba ella ayer? O where was he yesterday? ¿Dónde estaba él ayer? Why were they angry? Why were they angry? Porque ellos estaban enojados. When were you a student? When were you a student? ¿Cuándo eras tú un estudiante? And that is all for today, class. Thank you very much. This was the class about sentence structures for the verb to be in past tense.